It shows us the applications that are currently available for integration: Appraisal Scope, ValuTrac, and QuickBooks Desktop. I'm going to start with QuickBooks, right? So that's going to be our connection point here. Call this QB. And here we go. Now we have that. So the next thing I want to do is click on Details, and I want to download the QuickBooks file. And so here's the file that gets downloaded. We've downloaded the file from our A1 sync. What we want to do is go to QuickBooks and update web services. Now I'm in my sample company file here, and web services will start in the background, so pay attention. And so this is the file that I've downloaded. And I'm just going to point to it, say OK here, and now we have it. The next step is to give this password that you can also grab from the file, from the place where we got the file, and here is the password. Now these things are unique, right? So the file is unique to each integration connection point, so you can't reuse them. But here you enter the password, and as soon as I move the focus away to relay anything, it gives me this, do you want to save this password? And the answer is yes, I do. Now I'm going to click on this checkbox, and it will give me this option to update selected, which will basically run the integration between A1 Sync and your QuickBooks file. In our case, it's a sample company file. So this thing will pick up on certain objects, and let's see where we at now. So here we are, and you can see that it's initial, right? So that now I'm going to go ahead and just refresh this page. And it's telling me that now it's active. And if I click on the accounts, it'll show me that it picked up on the accounts. Now you don't see bills because in this particular integration, we don't have it programmed to pick up bills from QuickBooks. Customers are there because we do have the need for customers. No invoices and items are there. So there might be an integration where you have a need to have bills pulled out from QuickBooks, and then, this is what it's for. It'll be there. All right, so the next step would be to do the second component. Let's start with ValuTrac, and I'm going to establish the connection here as well. ValuTrac, save. Okay, all right, now that we have this connection, we need to integrate it with QuickBooks. And so to do that, we're going to click on Create New and give it the name, or we can just choose here and hit next. And for QuickBooks Desktop, this is the connection, and for ValuTrac, that's the connection. And so there's our summary, and here we go. Now we have our integration. So now that we have this integration between ValuTrac and the QuickBooks Desktop established, the next step would be to set up the cross-reference points. We'll need 4 of them, right? So one for customers, and we need another one for vendor. Save. We need one for item. And the fourth one that we need is payment method. Now, these things will help us manage the difference of the actual data that exists, let's say, between ValuTrac and QuickBooks. You would be able to maintain those differences without having to, lose ability to integrate to it. All right, so now we'll just navigate to our integrations, and we have our integration, QuickBooks to ValuTrac integration. It's just little icons, and it tells us that the status is initial. So we can get inside it. And now we have the cross-reference payment for cross-reference for payment method would be payment method cross-reference. Cross-reference for vendor would be vendor cross-reference. Cross-reference for item would be, guess what? Item. And customer is customer. Now, these terms are coming from QuickBooks, and the rest of this information is actually coming from your QuickBooks here. When bills are coming in, what account do you want to use? So for us right now, we're just going to go ahead and select cost of goods sold. You can choose whatever you'd like. Now here we can just say other expenses, and again, you can say something else, right? So this is just our little, I'm going to say installation here. We're going to pick the terms, net 15, And I'm going to use undeposited funds. Like that. And here I want to say uncategorized income. Right, uncategorized. Here it is. And so then we save. So now we've saved this integration, we're actually ready to try it. So let's go with payments, and I'm going to browse and choose this test payment file here, and we're going to go ahead and submit. And so the file ran through. We only have a couple of transactions in it. It shows you that there is no errors, but there might still be some warnings, and we'll see them on the next screen if we click here. Now here it shows us the actual details and the data that we ran through here. And for this particular case, so for the company, the error or the warning is that and it actually shows you all of them in here, right? So the rest of them are as well. So for example, it says that sample mortgage company, does not exist in QuickBooks. And so you can either create new like this, right? So this basically creates sample mortgage company in QuickBooks. You can go ahead and add that. So the customer is done. The payment method, right? So it says credit card. Which payment method do you want to link it to? So you can just pick one of yours, but see how in QuickBooks it's broken down to either American Express, Discover, MasterCard, Visa, e-check or cash. And so you can literally just pick any one of these, or you can go back to QuickBooks and add another one that says credit card. If you want to add another payment type, just go to receive customer payment, and then from here you can click on this drop down here and add new payment method. Here you can say credit card without having to specify whether it's Visa or MasterCard or whatever, and you can just link it to other credit card and hit OK. And now you have credit card as a payment type. Another way to do this is go to lists, and then you can navigate to customer and vendor profile lists, and then here you can just choose payment method list. And here you will actually see the one that we've created, credit card, and it's linked to other payment card. But if you want to add more, you can just right click here and add new, and it'll take you to that same screen. Thanks. Okay, now, so for item cross-reference, the option is, so FHA 1004. Our file doesn't have it, and so we're just going to go ahead and say create new and hit add. And now we're done. And so this file is taken care of. Now here it's the same thing. What would you like to do with the test mortgage company too? We can go ahead and create new. What is the item? FNMA 104T final inspection. Same thing. We can go ahead and just say that it's a new one, and so then we'll have this for the future use. And we hit add and add. These cross references are done. And so now these two records are ready to go into QuickBooks. You can do them one by one by clicking on this individual button here, or you just click sync and it'll take both of them in. And so the file status is pending. And so, all right, so after sync, assuming that your integration is actually set to auto run, and once the sync is complete, we can hit refresh here and we get our success. And so now these two payments are in QuickBooks. So both of these companies are there, all